Welcome back to another episode of Headlines and Heartlines, the podcast where we dive into the stories that shape Liberty County, Texas. I'm Vanessa Brazier, owner and publisher of Bluebonnet News of Texas, and today I have a special guest, Jimmy Belt, the incumbent candidate for Justice of the Peace in Precinct 2. We'll be talking about what the role of a Justice of the Peace really means for our community and get to know Jimmy a little bit better. But before we dive into the questions, Jimmy, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your background. I know that you've got a long experience in law enforcement, and a lot of people may not realize that. So maybe you can talk to our listeners a little bit about your journey before becoming a Justice of the Peace.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm a lifelong resident of Liberty County, Eastern Liberty County, Precinct 2 to be specific. I was raised in the Devers, Holdazetta area. I've been in this area my entire life. I'm 65 and a half years old, and I went to grade school in Devers, and I actually graduated from Liberty ISD in 1978, in May of 78. And just after turning 18 and graduating from school, I was appointed police chief in DayZeta, Texas. And I worked 2 years in DayZeta as the police chief, and then the late Sheriff C.L. Buck Eccles hired me to work as a patrol deputy. And I spent several years as a patrol deputy, and I promoted into the Criminal Investigation Division as a detective. And so then in the year of 2000, I was elected as constable in Precinct 2. And I held that position until 2006, when I was appointed as a Special Texas Ranger. And that job was encompassed to investigate criminal activity and criminal complaints related to the farming and ranching industry.
So that was for the Texas Cattle Raisers Association?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We were actually licensed and commissioned by the Department of Public Safety at that time as Special Texas Rangers. Mm-hmm. And that gave us the statewide jurisdiction, and where we could investigate and travel for those criminal complaints. And we did not work civil. Everything we done was criminal. And sometimes the crime would happen maybe in Liberty County, and it would eventually wind up in Tarrant County or in Fort Worth or in San Antonio, just different parts of the state. And so our jurisdiction was statewide, and I was assigned to 12 counties here in Southeast Texas. I had an office within four sheriff's offices within that 12 counties. And so I was assigned to Liberty, Chambers, Jefferson, Orange, Hardin, Tyler, Jasper, Newton, Sabine, Harris, San Jacinto, and Polk County.
So you're still able to recite them off just like that, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. And I worked there 16 years. And so I decided that after 16 years, I was ready to come home and indulge my full time to help the people of my community where I lived, which is the Holdazetta Redwood area. And so I chose to come back to Precinct 2 and work here. And I ran for Justice of the Peace. I was elected in 2022, and I took office in January of 2023. And so I have been the elected judge now for 3 years. And that's pretty much my background.
Okay. And were you the youngest police chief?
Yes, ma'am. In 1978, I was the youngest police chief in the state, and I was the youngest police chief that had been appointed. And just within a year or two after my appointment and my taking office, the state changed that, and now you have to be 21 years of age.
So you hold the record now?
Yes, ma'am. But because of being already working, then I was grandfathered because I had already been through the police academy and I had my state certification. And I went through the first police academy that Baytown Police Department ever had. And so I got to go through that academy, and that was a good experience. And so I've had a good career in law enforcement. I had about 43 years and some odd months in law enforcement.
Well, what drew you to law enforcement?
As a child, I lost a majority of my family as a young child and as an adolescent. And I just had always wanted to help people. And I used to watch a show on TV called Adam 12. And that was back in the 60s.
One Adam 12? One
Yes,
Adam
ma'am.
12. I remember that.
That was back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to either be Reed or Malloy, the two officers that were street cops, beat cops, because I got to see them interact with people on a daily basis.
To help people.
And they help people. And I always wanted to be able to help my community and help the people that I live with and serve those people.
Yeah. Well, that was a good show.
Yes, ma'am.
We're showing our age, though, when we say that we used
yes,
to watch
ma'am.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
We're close to the same age. Okay, so thank you for sharing that, Jimmy. So to start off, can you explain to the listeners what a justice of the peace actually does in Liberty County? In Texas, but specifically here in Liberty County?
Well, a justice of the peace here in Liberty County is elected by the constituents of each precinct. And we serve the people of our precinct for the most part. There are times that we have to go outside our precinct if we are there to assist another judge who may not be available. But for the most part, we are elected to work our precinct. And I'm elected to work Precinct 2, which is the most southeastern part of Liberty County. And a justice of the peace in today's world, there are so many new laws and rules and regulations that have taken effect. Now, the justice of the peace handles criminal complaints, all of your Class C complaints, which are like citations, public intoxications, disorderly conduct, people that are fighting, things of this nature.
Don't you also handle when you're trying to evict someone?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to get into that in just a second. That goes into
that's
our...
a different... Okay, that's
yes,
a different
ma'am.
part
That goes
of it.
into our civil categories, civil responsibilities.
Sorry about that.
But that's okay. So we are bound to, if we receive probable cause affidavits from law enforcement agencies, whether it be the sheriff's office or Department of Public Safety, state game wardens, constable's office, if they bring us criminal complaints and they have affidavits, if there's what we need in that affidavit to go further with it, then we issue warrants. And we not only issue misdemeanor warrants, but we also issue felony warrants for those agencies. And then if we go to the civil side of it, then we handle evictions, we handle debt claims and small claim cases. And we also handle occupational driver's license cases.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes, ma'am. We handle occupational driver's license cases.
Okay.
We also do magistration.
Can you explain that? What does that involve?
Well, it's where we have a hearing, and once we look at the evidence and we look at the paperwork that is prepared and brought before the court, then we may help make a decision to honor a person getting an occupational license where their license has been suspended by the state.
Okay.
And so we have a hearing, and upon conclusion of that hearing and everything that we see, if there's enough there, then we will issue that occupational driver's license, which allows that individual to drive with some restrictions, but they're allowed to go to and from work, to and from school, church, necessary to buy groceries, things for their family. It's not just to drive everywhere and drive all time. There are restrictions, but at least that individual is allowed, upon an issuance of that, they're allowed to help provide for their family and keep their family intact.
Okay.
So one of the other things that we do is we do magistration. And so we do adult magistration as well as we do juvenile magistration. And adult magistration here in this county, there are 6 of us in the county, and we have one of the magistrates, the judge, who does magistration daily at like the sheriff's office.
Would that be Stephen Hebert?
Yes,
Precinct
ma'am.
1?
Precinct 1, Judge Hebert. He normally conducts magistrations during the week, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, the other 5 of us in the county, we rotate and we do magistration at jail on weekends. And that consists basically of going over, meeting with the individuals who are incarcerated and who have had charges filed on them or have complaints or have had warrants issued. Then we go and we read those individuals their rights. We want to make sure that people understand what their rights are. So we read them their rights, and then we explain to them what they've been charged with, why they've been charged with that, whether it's either on complaint or whether it was by a warrant. And then we set their bail or their fine. And that is basically what magistration for us is.
Okay.
So then when we do juvenile magistration, that is a magistration that is only done between the judge, the magistrate, and the juvenile. And no one else is really present. There is a whole set of different rules for juveniles versus adult magistration.
It's to protect their identity?
It's to protect that child and that child's rights.
Okay.
Because they are under age.
Yeah, 17 and under,
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or is it
under 17?
Under
17.
17.
Yes,
because when you're 17,
when
then
you're
you're considered
17,
an adult.
you're considered an adult as far as law and magistration and the charging of.
Yeah, you can be charged with a major felony at 17 if you're not careful.
Yes, ma'am. And with the juveniles, so it's a little more in detail with the juveniles because we also have to have hearings with juveniles. If juveniles receive a citation such as a traffic citation, then the juvenile can come in and they can make a plea and they can take care of it with them and their parent present. But on anything other than traffic violations, you must have hearings.
We should probably clarify that would be 16 and under would be the
correct.
17 and older is an adult.
Under 17. Under 17 would be considered a juvenile.
16 and younger.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And so they come in and we have a hearing. On juveniles, anything other than traffic, there is a new law and it's called the Juvenile Diversion Program.
Okay.
And so that is something that is fairly new in our system and is something that was passed by law. And so anything other than traffic, the court must offer that juvenile diversion. And if
they've committed a murder?
No.
Okay, so there's certainly exceptions.
Yes, ma'am. There are exceptions. But under the Class C misdemeanors that we deal with, then other than traffic, we offer them a diversion program.
Okay.
But that diversion program consists of things that they have to do to be able to, if they accept that program and enter into that program, there are restrictions and there are obligations that juvenile must accomplish to be able to complete that program. If they complete that program, then that case goes away.
Do they have to maintain their grades? Do they have to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They have to do that. Sometimes we will have them do community service. We will, if we have that available. But in the area in which we're in, the community service and the resources for that are very, very limited. Because we're so rural. And with that being said, we are not a lot of times able to give that community service because it's not available. So I like to have them do an essay sometimes, a handwritten essay for that child, not on a computer, but handwritten.
Makes them think about it, and then they have to actually do their own
and it's
work.
on a topic that is related to the offense.
Really?
That they've been accused of.
So it could be like drug possession. What do they have to write about if it's a drug possession?
The dangers of drugs and possessing or using drugs or narcotics.
What about making threats at school or something?
Yes, ma'am. And maybe anger management.
Oh, okay.
So there are things that we can do other than regular community service. And if they complete that program, then that charge goes away. And that's by state law. And we have no control of that. That is something that must be offered to that child.
Okay.
And the other thing that a judge does in this county is we have inquest. And inquest are where we get called out.
That's the worst part of the job.
It's a very tragic event for a lot of people.
People hear that word. Can you explain what an inquest is?
So an inquest is where I receive a phone call of someone's passing, and I'm asked to come out and hold an inquest, which means I go out and I meet with law enforcement or the agencies that are there that have been called to come out. And in this county, normally it's the sheriff's office unless it's an accident, and a lot of times it's Department of Public Safety if it's on a highway.
Troopers.
So we go out and we meet with law enforcement. We discuss the event with them, and then we make a pronunciation of that individual that is deceased.
Okay.
And so then we try to meet with a family. In a lot of cases, we want to meet with a family, and we and we want them, if they're present and they're there, then I try to sit down and visit with them and seek out any questions that they might have, any concerns that they might have that maybe I can answer to try to make this situation easier for them.
I'm sure it can be a very delicate situation when you're having to tell someone that their loved one's passed.
It is very difficult. It is hard to do. You never get used to it. It's probably the worst part of this job, and especially in an area where I live, because we know
everybody.
We know everybody. So when you know everybody, it makes it that much harder because you have so much empathy, so much sympathy for the families.
I live in dread of fatal accidents. I hate hearing about a fatal accident.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just because it's happened, but when it's been someone that I've known and I love, and
it's a hard part of the job. But all of the years that I was in law enforcement, I saw so much tragedy, and I was involved in so many of the cases that it was doing criminal investigations and was a part of when these type of things happened. So I knew what it was like. I knew of it. I had participated in some of those events.
But you never get used to it, though.
It's something you never get used to. And it's a call that you don't want to have. And you dread because you know that it's a life-changing experience for everyone that's involved.
Someone's going to hurt.
And someone is going to hurt, and that hurt runs deep.
Yeah, especially when it's a sudden tragic thing.
Yes, ma'am.
If it's an older person that died, like in their home, then it's kind of, sometimes that's expected, but it's still bad.
I look at every one of them every time I have to go, and it's tough. And to me, it's a tragedy and it's a sad situation for everyone in every case. And I have a lot of empathy and compassion for those involved. And that's just my nature,
So we're ready for the next question, or did you get through all the roles of... He has a list that he wrote down when he found out I was coming over.
Well, I like to try to be prepared.
Obviously.
And I like
he's got a binder.
I just like to kindly know,
Which path you're going to take.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so let's talk about what a typical day looks like for you as a justice of the peace. And we talked about some of the biggest challenges, but what's a typical day look like?
Well, our office here in Precinct 2, we open at 7:30 in the morning. And so I try to get here. Some mornings I'm here before the clerks get here and I open up. And some mornings I'm here when they get here, but I'm sitting on the front porch.
Which is where he was when I got here today, waiting on me to get here.
We're in a rural area, and so we have a porch across this office.
It's so nice.
And, it fits our community. It fits who we are.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a nice community.
And so many people that come here, they feel more comfortable with sitting on the porch
and talking about their problems,
pouring out the issues, the concerns, or the problems that they have, rather than coming into an official office.
So a less formal setting.
It's less formal, and so many people feel more comfortable with that, and I'm good with that.
Okay, so you show up around 7:30.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what does the day look like?
Well, I will go. We have a little spot. Sometimes I'll go and get something to drink right up the road. We don't have many establishments. We're limited here as to where you can buy something to drink or eat. So I kind of go up to Hull, about 1.5 miles up the road, to a convenience store, and I'll get something to drink.
Some coffee or something?
Yes, ma'am. And I'll let the ladies kind of get everything up and running here. And then at about 8 o'clock, 8:15, I come back, and then we sit down and we have a morning. Every morning we have a little meeting I do with the clerks here, and we go over kindly. I'm a guy that I'm pretty punctual, and I'm a guy that likes to be prepared, and I like to know what I'm doing that day, and so I pretty much am prepared for that day for the most part. And so the first thing we do is we look at our calendar and we discuss, do we have any hearings today? Do we have any trials today? What do we have? And so once we kind of get that done, if a lot of times I have a lot of paperwork to review and sign. And some mornings I may have to sign 50 or 60 pages.
And have to review all of them.
And I have to go over and review everything to make sure of what I'm signing before I sign it.
You don't have an auto pen?
Oh, no, ma'am. It's all going to be
it's all done.
It's going to all be in my hand scratch.
Yeah.
So once we have our morning meeting here at this office, and everything is kind of moving along as in a normal process, then I get out, which is normally about 10 o'clock. And I leave the office, and I go out and I start making visits with people in my community. And if I see somebody out on the porch, I stop. And we either have coffee, soda water, tea, or water. Sometimes it's breakfast. But I go out and I engage with the people in Precinct 2. And that's every day of my job.
Wow.
And so I'm a full-time judge. I have no other income. This is what I do for my living. And I wanted to represent the people 100%, not 50 or 75.
But it doesn't require you to be in the office
It does
constantly.
not require me to be in the office, no. But I wanted to be a full-time judge that would be here in our area, in our precinct. I would be accessible and available all day long. And so if I'm not in the office, I'm within about 10 minutes from the office. And so I'll go to Devers maybe one morning, and I'll spend until lunch, and I'll go and visit with people. And I knock on doors, and we sit around and talk. And
how does that help you?
In a community as rural as we are on the east side of the county, you find out more things by going and visiting with people in a relaxed atmosphere, someplace that they feel comfortable. And I know what's going on in the community because I sit down and I visit with people. And if I don't know, then they let me know and they tell me. Mm-hmm. And so one day I'll spend time in Devers. The next day it may be Hull. The next day it may be the days that are Raywood. But every day of the week when I'm out working, I'm in my precinct. Yeah. And I'm with the people in my precinct because I want to have knowledge. I want to know what's going on. Because if I know what's going on, then maybe I can help people and I can help my community for better service.
Yeah. So that was one of the, so when we're talking about community stuff, so how do you see your position impacting the life of the residents? Are there any initiatives that you've done that you're particularly proud of?
Well, so when I came into office in January of 23, we had no office. We didn't have a place to go to. There was no land, there was no office. I wasn't handed a set of keys and said, go to Raywood or go to Devers or Hull or Dayzetta and that'll be your office. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that. So in between the time of November, of the election in November of 22 to January 23, I was able to find a very small building, portable building, and I think it was about a 10 or 12 by maybe 16 or 18, a little portable building that the county was able to rent so that we could actually have an office that we could open the door January 1st and call a court. But I had aspirations when I ran that I wanted the people of the Hull Dayzetta, Devers, Raywood area to have a modernized office. Mm-hmm. An office that was large enough that we could have an official courtroom. Someplace that if something happens on the east side over here in Precinct 2 and it was going to go to Precinct 2 Justice Court, then I wanted to be able to conduct that business here within our precinct. I didn't want to have to go to Liberty or another place, another precinct, and borrow an office with a courtroom.
Right.
I wanted to have it here. So I sat down and I had a visit with the commissioners and the county judge, and within just a short period of time, they were able to allow me, with the court's permission, to try to locate some property. They asked me where I wanted to go, and I said I want to be in Dayzetta. I said the office had been in Raywood for a number of years, like 40 years, and I just wanted.
But it was on private property, so
yes,
y'all
ma'am.
didn't have access to it any longer.
Yes, ma'am. We had no access. So with that being said, they gave me permission to try to locate some property, and where we exist today, I was able to, with permission of the court and the court's approval, we were able to acquire the location, which is 401 Main Street. Mm-hmm. So we're on Main Street. We're in the center of Dayzetta. Mm-hmm. And so after we acquired that, we had to work on trying to find a building,
How did the building come about? Did Bruce find this for you?
So Commissioner Kabowski had contacted me and told me that the county had made purchase of a building or two, maybe one or two in the past. And I think one of them was for Constable Precinct 5, I believe. And so he asked me would I like to, was I interested in that? Because at the time, they had some other projects that would not allow them to build a building on this property at present from the ground up. And they said, well, are you willing to take a portable office? I said, sure. Anything that's big enough that we can have our own courtroom and something that we can service our people here. So we located a building in the Cleveland area, and it was a building company, and that's what they specialize in. I got to look at 2 or 3 buildings, and the building that we're in today, I chose this building.
I'm sure you're very grateful for all the support you got.
This is a very nice office. It's a very nice building, and it came about with the approval of the Commissioner's Court and the judge, Judge J. Knight. And I'm very grateful. The people in our community is grateful that we now have our own place.
Something to be proud of?
Yes, ma'am. And it's a permanent place.
Yeah.
And, within this facility, one of my goals when I ran is I really wanted to see more law enforcement within our community. I wanted more presence of law enforcement and those vehicles with decals and that says Sheriff's Office, Highway Patrol. Because it's a crime deterrent. Because it is a crime deterrent. So I had a visit with the court, and I told them I wanted to offer office space because we had an extra office. So I wanted to be able to offer that space to all law enforcement agencies in the county when they are here, if they're over here working or they have something going on, or there's inclement weather and they're in the area and they just want to get out of the weather for a few minutes, then we have an office that is furnished. It's computered, phones, whatever they pretty much need is here.
How's that worked out?
It's worked out well. And if they need to interview or visit with a family or someone, or they need to talk to somebody, they have a place private that they can come to. And so it's been very accessible to law enforcement. It has been utilized, and we're very grateful for that because it has made a difference in the presence of law enforcement, which to me is a deterrent to crime, and it benefits our community.
So can you share a memorable case or moment that has really stayed with you during your time in office as a JP?
I'll be honest. Every case, every day I deal with is special.
Yeah. Because it involves people.
Because it involves people.
And you love people.
And I am a people person. It involves people. It involves situations that they have that so many times they need someone, and they need someone to talk to, and they need guidance, or they need help. Mediation. And so with that being said, every day is a unique experience, and it's a memorable experience. Every day that I come to this office and every case that I have means something to me.
Well, how do you approach resolving those conflicts fairly and impartially?
Well, when I ran, my biggest thing is I wanted to have equal and fair representation for everybody, no matter what type of background you came from, no matter who you were or what you done for a living. I wanted everyone that walks through that front door to feel comfortable when they come in and to feel like they've been welcomed into this office.
I feel like they're going to be
And
treated fairly.
I wanted everybody, and I sat down and I talked to the staff, and I said, what we will do beginning January the 1st, when I come into this office, we will treat everybody respectful, we'll be polite, courteous, and we will help everybody that we can help in one way or another. So many days we have people come here and they come in and say, I don't know where to get this done. I'm not sure where I get that done. Or I don't know how to find so-and-so. And so many times in the week, it doesn't have anything particularly directed at the court or for the court's business. It's something that they just didn't know how to find where to go
Get that information.
Yeah. And so what we do is I tell everyone, so just have a seat. And if I don't know, can't give you that information, let me get on the phone right quick. If you don't have time, I'll get that information and I'll come to your house and sit down and visit with you and give you that so maybe you can get some resolve. So not only do we do it here, so many times I'll go to their home and sit down and say, okay, this is what I found out. This is where you need to go. This is who you need to talk to. Because where we live, we don't have a lot of people to places to go for help. Mm-hmm. And so many people come here. And that, to me, is a good thing because the people are being taken care of. And we just want the people taken care of in our precinct.
So looking into your reelection, if you are elected to a second term, what are some of the goals that you hope to achieve in that second term?
You know, I want to continue what we started. And number one and foremost is public service to the people and constituents of Precinct 2. I truly enjoy, and it's an honor to work for the people. I feel like in today's world, so many people who are in politics, when they get a job, they forget about the people and where they started and how they started. And I started at the bottom, and I've worked my way up, and I feel like I'm in a good spot, and I love what I do. I enjoy my precinct and the people that live in this community, and I enjoy serving those people. So with that being said, it's an everyday challenge with this job. It's not just to come in, sign a few things, and leave. Every day it's a challenge because we face new issues and new problems every day. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's never boring, huh?
And it's never boring, no matter.
Are there any common misconceptions that people have about what a justice of the peace does?
You know, I've had a few people tell me since I've been in office. They said, "Well, you know, what do you do?" And when you explain this to people, some of the things that we've discussed today, people's response is, "Well, I thought all they done was looked over traffic tickets and maybe married a few people, you know, in the community, performed weddings, or had to do inquest
or an eviction."
We had no idea the tremendous amount of what is required from the justice courts now. And you know, years ago, the responsibility as far as the values of where we are, it used to be $5,000 as far as the monetary value of cases that we heard in civil cases.
Yeah.
Well, it's $20,000 now.
Oh, it's gone up.
So what happened, we think, just discussing it in training and in classes that we go to, is that there's such a backlog in the larger courtrooms and in the county courts, county court at law, and the district courts, that they got so backlogged with everything that's going on where we are in today's world, so they filtered those cases now down to us. Oh, and so the justice courts now has a tremendous amount of responsibility. And I just got back from yearly training a week ago, and it is just it is an abundance of responsibility as far as the new laws that have taken effect. Yeah. Some that went into effect in September, some that will come into effect in January. And so this job is a full-time job, and it's an everyday job.
So we wrap up these Bluebonnet News Headlines and Heartlines interviews with some rapid-fire questions. Are you ready for those? Oh, I just want you to give me the first thing that pops in your head when you have this question.
Sure.
Okay, all right. What's your favorite local event or festival in Liberty County?
Holidays at a Mayhaw Festival.
Why? It's fun, huh?
It's homegrown.
Homegrown. I
It's
like
here.
that. Yeah.
It represents our people,
Yeah.
the people of Precinct 2.
Okay, I like that. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
John Wayne.
Oh, I love that question or that answer. Tell me why.
John Wayne stood for what was right. Honesty.
Yes.
Integrity.
Yeah, and doing the hard stuff.
And doing the hard stuff. Even though sometimes it's not
It's not popular.
what everybody wants, and it's not popular. But he always done what was right.
We're talking about his movie characters, though. Not necessarily him, but
Yeah.
he was still a good man.
He was.
He died on June 13th, 1979. I was 13 years old, and the day that he died, my mother came and told me he died, and I could not pull myself out of bed for the rest of the day. I cried all day long.
He was a true American hero.
You got a favorite John Wayne movie?
Chisholm. John Chisholm.
Do you know, I still have a hard time watching his last movie because he was dying from cancer at the time, and he knew it.
Talking about Cahill, U.S. Marshal?
I'm talking
Or
about
are you talking about?
It was the very last movie that he had.
Yeah.
And watching Young Guns, I had a, what was it? Was it called Young Guns or Young Cowboys? I had a hard time with the Cowboys.
It's called The Cowboys.
Because he died in that one.
Yeah.
But Green Beret, all the movies.
He was an individual that
Rooster Cogburn.
Yes, Rooster Cogburn. He stood for what was right and what should be right. You know.
Yeah, I can't even watch the new True Grits because I'm a purist when it comes to that. Nobody's going to do that character better. When I was a little girl, I thought I was going to grow up and be Maddie and ride the trail with John Wayne. I went through a period of time where I wouldn't even eat hot food because I knew I had to survive around the campfire with John Wayne. I had this idea at 7 and 8 years old that I was going to do that. And then he died, so I was devastated. So I'm good with the John Wayne one. Invite me. Yeah. So what's a hidden talent that you have that most people don't know about?
You know, I don't hunt or fish. I used to when I was younger. I enjoyed the hunting and the fishing somewhat, but I don't anymore. Many years ago, I started team roping, and I've got some friends here. And
you like that?
I enjoy team roping. So if I've had a particular day that's been very stressful and some real negative things have happened, then a lot of times I'll load a horse in a trailer, and I have my best friend. He owns a big roping arena, and so we'll go and we just go rope late in the afternoon, and we rope and we have fellowship and we socialize, and that kind of brings me down.
It resets you?
It brings me back down to reality and to get ready for the next day.
If you had to describe Liberty County in one word, what would it be? One word. And don't get all sentimental now. Just one word. He gets sentimental about when he starts talking about his home.
It's people.
People.
It's people and serving the people that I work for.
Well, that's more than one word.
Yeah, I can't.
So just people.
People.
So what is your secret weapon in life? What's the best thing you've ever done?
Married my wife, Joan.
That's the best thing. How long y'all been married?
46 years.
And have how many kids together?
2 children.
How many grandkids?
3.
Are they all going to be home for Christmas?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You got big plans?
I spend time with my family.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's Christmas look like at your house?
Fried shrimp, boiled shrimp.
Oh, y'all do it that way.
Tea, something sweet to eat.
Yeah?
And watch the grandbabies.
That's a good weekend.
Yeah. I have my wife is an identical twin. And
Judy, right? It's her
Joan.
twin? Joan.
Her sister's name is Judy.
That's what I meant, Judy.
And so they had the genealogy.
Yeah.
And she is truly identical.
Yeah.
So our daughter now has a set of twins that are 10 months old.
Oh my gosh.
And she has one that is 2 years old. She's about 2.5 now. But
it's fun to watch them.
It is. And she had twin boys. And Ezekiel and Micah.
Oh boy.
And they're fun to watch. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, I appreciate you meeting with me today. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of Headlines and Heartlines. I want to say thank you very much. Do you have anything else you want to add?
The only thing I'd like to say is that throughout this whole interview, this podcast, we have discussed why I like to do this job and what this job is about.
Yeah.
And the job is about serving the people that you live with. And I truly live with these people.
Yeah.
And it's being fair and giving equal representation to every person, no matter their color, their creed, their race, their sex, nationality, how much money they have or they don't have. It's about being fair to every person that comes before this court and giving them an equal chance to explain, because this is the only court where each side is able to stand up and explain and present their case.
Yeah.
And then the judge gets to explain.
Yeah.
Higher courts, it's attorneys. Here,
people get to defend
people
themselves.
get to defend themselves.
Yeah.
And they get to bring their letters of their concerns or what they believe, their beliefs are, and their knowledge, and they get to present that. And this is the only court like it. So I just try to make sure that every person is treated with that equal respect.
Gets a fair shake.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, for letting me come over and visit with you for a while today and sharing your insights. I hope everyone enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And till next time, I'll be back next week with a new guest and a new interview. Thank you.